Okay, so the other night, like, well, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching YouTube. Seeds for Freedom had a video of his chicken Parmesan he was making. That made me so hungry I went out and bought everything I needed to do to make it myself. And I haven't made it before, so this will be fun. So everything started off yesterday with vacuum packaging pork chops. And I put another light on here. I'll get that light on. And I ran out of bags, so I had to go up to Myers, and I found these chicken breasts, and I was like, oh, I can vacuum pack these. And then, and then I'm watching the chicken Parmesan video. So now here we are. We got one pounded out. You just take the whole breast. I thought it was like a fillet kind of thing, but nope. You pound it down. I'm going to take this extra stuff off of the sides and stuff like that, but I got another one in here right now. I'm just going to start pounding this down to about a 1/2 inch. And we've got tomato sauce, Parmesan. I've got it with Romano. Got a little bit of flour, some breadcrumbs, and we'll use some eggs and stuff like that. So here we go. So I'm going to have to get more chicken breasts if I want to store some in the freezer. I did 4.5 pounds, pounded out, and cleaned them up, get all the hard pieces off and any fat. So you want that to be nice and smooth. And put these on the plate, put them in the fridge, and we're ready for later. Alright, the kitchen looks like a mess, but I've been bleaching the cutting boards. And I'm getting ready to do a test. I want to do a couple of these Parmesan chickens tonight because I am very hungry. Gotta throw that out and get moving here. Oh, this is where the chicken Parmesan comes in, because you're doing breadcrumbs and you're putting the Parmesan cheese in here. This is also a blend with Romano, and I'm just gonna pour a bunch of that in there. And add a few more spices like basil and a little bit of pepper. I'm only going to do 2 eggs because I'm only doing 2 breasts just for a test. I've got all that mixed up with the Parmesan, Romano, and pepper and basil. So we'll get this going. So I've got the cast iron skillet, the biggest one, the Lodge right here. It's cooling off after I rinsed it off, and I'm going to put a bunch of oil in here. I'm really going to put like a bunch of olive oil. And you can use whatever oil you want. You could even use butter if you need to, but I'm going to go for frying. You got to fry this stuff. So I don't have like a sifter, like one of those sifter things. I packed away a lot of stuff, so I'm just like pouring the put some flour on there. Could be cornbread if you want to. And just mix this around so it gets like a little bit all over it. Here we go. I'm doing the small ones and the big ones. Well, one big one. Just get that going. And if you're short of breadcrumbs or anything, these are saltine crackers. You could like use that too and like break them all up and put them into there and put some spices in. Stuff like that. Next, what you do is like, we'll start with the little one and put it into the egg right here. Get that nice and soaked up like that. We're gonna cook these scrambled after this. And then put it in the breadcrumbs. Totally get it like, yeah, covered. There we go. There's a piece right there. So we're putting the other one in the eggs. And I only use 3 eggs on this. It's probably good for like more. I might save this for tomorrow because this is like the pre-prep for New Year's, basically. So here we go with the crumbs. Got it. All right. And then we do this biggest one last. I will cook these eggs up tonight. So I'm going to turn this back up. We got like a bunch of oil in this pan. We get it hot. And I think it's pretty hot already. And we're going to throw these in. And this is just enough, like the perfect size for all three of these. And just let that cook up. So in the meantime, prep your oven. We've got pans in here right now. I got to take all these pans out, move this other lid right here, because we're gonna bake on a cookie sheet for the final. These are like starting to sizzle. So at this point, I'm gonna get the I'm gonna turn bake, and I want it up to 400 degrees. There we go. Let's start. So that's gonna prime up, and then these are gonna be ready. I turn the heat off on this. It's down to 0. And just let those cook. Make sure your internal temperature is good. I'm going right here. We got 114. I'm worried about this edge right here. And here we got 114. I'm gonna flip them again. The heat back up again, just about right to there. And we're gonna test the smallest one. This one's done. I'm gonna take this out. That goes over here. Where's that? This one's done too. This is the only one I'm worried about. I'm gonna shut the heat off again and pull it off of there. You know, once you're at that edge at like 115, 120, it can quickly shoot up. I've got some tomato basil, Simply Nature kind of stuff that I bought from Aldi's. And I'm gonna pour this on top, just a little bit, like that. I'll spread it around with a fork, and then we're gonna put mozzarella on it and see how that goes. Temperature is at 230 in the oven right now. Okay, we're at 300 on the oven, and well, we're getting up to 400. So I'm just gonna put this mozzarella. Use mozzarella cheese on the top here. Just put a bunch of it on there. It's really, this is like for the gluttons, you know. Dock it up here, because then we're throwing this right in, and we're gonna brown it out. Melt it and brown it, baby. There you go. So basically, I finished my piece of pizza. You probably saw that in there. That's a really good pizza shop I went to today. And do some dishes until that cheese melts. You know, and that's where it's at. I'm close to the final. I'm not gonna waste these eggs. These are really good ones. I'm gonna pour that in there. That goes into the sink. Throw these breadcrumbs in real quick too, just see what, I've never done this before. The deal is I want both of those things cleaned up, and just throw these around and see what happens. It can't be that bad, can it? I could put some garlic in there, I could put some basil. This could be a whole new thing, you know. Eggs, scrambled eggs with breadcrumbs. They're done. They're right there. So we'll check on the Parmesan. I think they're getting close. I really do want to see some. We're getting the brownness on the top, and that's what we want. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and that's where I'm gonna call it. Here we go. Got these. I could put on the broiler, but I think we're pretty close to that. I'm gonna dish it up. So, what you really want is like a salad with this, or some green beans or peas or something like green with it. But we're just gonna look at the inside of this. I think that looks really good. We're done. Okay, this is too good. I mean, this is really delicious. So overall, this is a great base. I mean, the chicken is like juicy, it's tender. It's not overly spiced or anything like that, but the flavor is there, and I'm gonna make modifications. That's why this is a tester. I'm gonna put some garlic in maybe, and I could easily just like throw some hot sauce on there, but that's not what I really want to do. I want something injected to like a little deeper. So have a good night, everyone. Later. Peace. Happy New Year.